Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to easily adjust your throttle cables on your motorcycle to take up all that extra slack that you might have noticed you all of a sudden have in your grip. All motorcycles with cable actuated throttles are going to have some adjustment turnbuckles, usually really close to the grip itself. Now this applies to bikes both ride-by-wire, such as this FJR, and older bikes that are purely cable-based. Don't make the mistake of thinking just because you see cables, it's not a ride-by-wire bike. Many bikes, as in this case and most Yamahas, have these cables going down to a sensor. So they're not directly connected to your throttle bodies like the older non-electronic ride-by-wire bikes. There is no direct connection between the grip, the cables, and the throttle bodies. It goes to a sensor. The computer reads that sensor data, actuates a servo motor to actually open and close your throttle butterflies. The same applies to the FZ09 here. The 17, also a ride-by-wire bike. You've got your traditional cables going back down into a sensor down inside the bike. And right up here, we have the adjustment turnbuckles. Now the reason we have to do this is because over so many miles, the steel cables inside physically stretch. The rigid sheath that the cable is inside does not. And when those lengths get different, you get slop in your grip as that cable inside is moving around and the sheath is not. So we need to equalize those. Now I see this online far too often. People think you have to go underneath the tank where the cables actually connect to either the throttle bodies or a sensor and adjust it there, much like adjusting a clutch down here. Where the clutch cable connects to the actual clutch mechanism, you have your major adjustment turnbuckles. You do not make maintenance adjustments down at this end of a cable. This is for basically installing a new cable, or in this case, a new clutch. You never adjust your throttle under the tank. That's exactly what this right here is for. It's a very simple thing. All bikes are going to pretty much work the same. You slide your cover back and you'll see a turnbuckle. In this case, we have a thumb screw, so it's really easy to do. And in cases like the FJR, you slide the cover back and you have two little lock nuts. So you just loosen the lock nuts and you spin the turnbuckle. Same as adjusting pretty much any other control on the bike. Now what you're looking for is to adjust your slack in the grip. The reason you want to do that is especially in corners when you're coming on and off the throttle. If you have a lot of slack, you come off the throttle and then you went to get back on it, and you have all this free zone play, it makes for a very jerky ride. It can actually make you lose control. So you want this to be as tight as possible. Now what you have to be concerned about is at the extremes of steering, your throttle tension can change. So when you do make your adjustments, make sure that you don't take out so much slack that under your extremes, it's giving you throttle. You want a tiny bit. If you measure here, put a little tick mark, you want a couple millimeters of actual free play at the extreme. That will keep you in a nice, safe zone. And that's all there is to it. So the magic is your maintenance adjustments are always right up here, not down under the tank. Your actual mechanism will change depending on your bike. You're either going to have a thumb screw or two little lock nuts, and that's it. All right, guys, hope this helps somebody. Super easy thing to do, and it is something that you need to do regularly. How often is going to completely depend on your bike. See ya.